boys and girls. So today we're going to focus on adding multi-digit numbers using the U.S. traditional method. I know coming from third grade, you guys have experience with using partial sums, as well as column addition, which is one of my favorite strategies. However, the goal for the end of fourth grade is that you can fluently use the U.S. traditional method when adding multi-digit numbers. Today we're going to work through a couple problems and we're going to see what could be some mistakes kids are making so that we can avoid those in the future. All right, let's get started. So our first problem we're going to do today is 47 plus 25. I always estimate first because it gives me a great opportunity when I'm done to compare my real answer to that and see if they're close. For example, if I accidentally minus, I would realize that my answer is nowhere near my estimate, and that should give me a big red flag saying something went wrong. So I rounded up my 47 to 50 and 25 to 30. I put little arrows above it to remind me that I rounded up because I noticed that I rounded up on both numbers. That tells me that my answer, 80, is going to be greater than my final actual answer. So let's get started. We're going to start with our ones place. 7 plus 5. I know 7 plus 5 makes 12. So for traditional addition, we're going to put our 2 down here, and we're going to carry our 10. Remember, it's a 10, not a 1. So now when I add this, this isn't 2 plus 4. It's technically 20 plus 40, which I know is 60, plus 10 more is 70. 72. Now let's compare that to our estimate and double check. Is 72 near 80? Yep. Is it less than 80? Yes, it is. There's a very good chance that I did my math correct on that one. All right, let's start at the very beginning for the next one. Notice we've added the hundreds place on this one. Now let's start by estimating. So I have 131 plus 88. I'm going to round 131 to 130. Okay, I technically rounded that one down. And I'm going to add it to 88, I know is very close to 90. Okay, now when I add those, I know 130 plus 90 is 220. Now I rounded down for one and up for the other. That really tells me that my answer could be bigger or smaller than this one. It's hard to say, but it should be pretty close to it. Let's double check our math. Again, we start with what place value? If you said the ones, you are correct. 1 plus 8. 1 plus 8 makes 9. So I'm going to put my 9 here. I'm not going to carry a 10 because we know that 9 is a single digit 1. It's a single digit number with 9 ones. There are no 10s on the number 9. Now I'm going to add my 10s. 3 plus 8. Well, I know 2 plus 8 is 10, so 3 plus 8 must be 11. I know 11 has that extra 10 on there. Now remember, it's not 3 plus 8, it's 30 plus 80. 30 plus 80 equals 110. So there's my 10. My 100 is going to come up here. 100 plus nothing is 100, but don't forget about the one I brought over. 219. Whoa, that's really close to my estimate. There's a very good chance that I think I'm correct on that one. All right, are you ready to try bigger numbers? All right, let's try something bigger. All right, we are in the thousands place now. So first step is to do what? If you said estimate, great job. All right, let's take a look at 4,725 plus 2,806. They're both in the thousands, so I'm going to round them to the nearest thousands. 4,725, I'm going to round to 5,000, which means I rounded it up. Plus 2,806, I'm going to round to 3,000, which again, I rounded it up. 5,000 plus 3,000 is 8,000. Since I rounded both of them up, that should tell me that my real answer should be less than 8,000. All right, let's get started with our ones place. 5 plus 6. 5 plus 6 is 11, so I put my ones down here and I carry my 10. 10 plus 20 plus 0. 20 plus 10 is 30, 0 more, so it is 30. Am I going to carry over 100? Did I have any hundreds in that one? No, I didn't. So notice how on this one I had to carry one over, but I didn't on this one. Let's get to our hundreds. 7 plus 8. 7 plus 8, well, it's 700 plus 800, which I know is 1,500. So here's my 500, and I'm going to take that 1,000 and bring it over to my thousands place. 4,000 plus 2,000 is 6,000, plus one more 1,000, 7,531. Let's compare our answer. Remember, we said it should be less than our estimate. Our estimate was 800. Our actual answer is 7,531. Is that less than 8,000? You bet it is. All right. So, boys and girls, here's what I would like you to do. We're going to solve one more together, and I want you to take out a piece of paper for this one. I'm going to go pretty slow. You're going to notice this one's a little different because I wrote it horizontally. Many times, this is how we are seeing problems, and this is where we're seeing a big mistake happening. What I notice is you guys do a really great job when they're written vertically, but when they're written horizontally, a lot of you want to just start adding like this. A really good strategy is always to reline them up vertically. So we're going to do that today, and we're going to really focus on the lining up piece because that's where a lot of errors happen. So I'm going to use a couple different colors. I've got 4 place values in this one, so I'm going to use 4 different colors. All right, so I'm going to start by underlining my 1s in one color, my 10s in another, my 100s in another color. Ooh, that's a pretty color. And then my thousands. Notice how this number doesn't have any thousands, but this one does. So now when I line these up, I'm going to make sure I line them up carefully. All right, so I'm going to start with my big number at the beginning, 4,791 plus, now when I add in 218, I've seen many kids, and myself, I've been totally guilty of doing this. They put this 2 under the 4. The problem with that is then you're not adding it correctly because you're adding the hundreds with your thousands. So let's look at these colors for a second. That 2 is purple and so is my 7. So I want to make sure that 2 is under my 7. 218. Notice how I'm also writing really big and really neat. This is a really important strategy to use because I know some of you like to write your 4s and your 9s really fast. And if I go like this right now, take a look at my 4 and my 9. Wow, if I'm going super fast, those are kind of similar. Same thing with a 6 and a 0. Ooh, yikes. So it's important to be neat and also make it so that you can read it very accurately. So let's go through and start solving this. What's our first step? If you know it, whisper it to your computer right now. If you're whispering the word estimate, good job. Okay, so my estimate, 4,791. Let's round that up to 5,000. It's an easy number to work with. I'm going to put that arrow, meaning I rounded it up. 218, let's round that to 200. Now that one I rounded down. 5,000 plus 2,000, 5,000 plus 200 is 5,200. Now I rounded up and down, which means I can't necessarily say for sure if my answer is going to be bigger or smaller than my estimate, but it should be close to that. Let's go ahead and start solving. I'm going to start with my 1s or thousands. Where do I want to start? On the right side or on the left side? I'm going to start on the right side. So let's start with our 1s. 1 plus 8 is 9. 90 plus 10 is 100. Now, if I write 100 here, it will not work. So I'm going to write my 0 here, and I'm going to carry my 100. This is really tricky because when I was in school, we would always just say we carry a 1. So I'm sure many of your moms and dads are like, yep, carry the 1. We want to really understand place value, though, and have great number sense. So that's why we refer to this specific one as 100 because it's in the hundreds place. So we've got 100 plus 700 plus 200. Well, I know 700 plus 200 is 900 plus a 1 is 1,000. So again, we put our 0 here. We carry our 1. No, we carry our 1,000. 1,000 plus 4,000 is 5,000. Let's take a look. 5,009, 5,200. Pretty close, not too bad. I think we're correct. You can always double check with a calculator as well. I hope this really helped with your addition skills, especially using that US traditional strategy. If you still have questions, please let me know. But feel free to try a couple on your own. You can always use a calculator to double check your work. But as long as you are lining them up correctly, writing neat, and always estimating first, you should be on the right path. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.